The next few days passed smoothly. University life was gradually becoming less intimidating, and I was finally settling into a routine. Classes, assignments, hostel life, phone calls with my siblings, and the occasional conversation with my roommates. It still felt strange sometimes, being away from home, but I was adjusting. That afternoon, after returning from classes, I was lying on my bed scrolling through my phone when a notification popped up. It was a message from Sister Hawa. Assalamualaikum. Dear Dots. Sister Amlala and I are around your hostel. We're on our way to class and decided to bring the jilbabs we promised you. Are you available? I sat up immediately. De akuli remembered wa alaikumussalam. Yes, sister. I'll come outside now. After replying, I placed my phone on the bed and stood up. Honestly, I was still surprised. People made promises all the time. Most forgot after a few days. But these sisters had actually remembered. As I slipped on my sandals, I found myself thinking about my upbringing. Growing up, life had never really given me the chance to focus on things like fashion or clothing. After my mother died, most of my attention went towards helping take care of the house and my younger siblings. Dad provided for us, alhamdulillah. It wasn't as if we were poor. The problem was that Dad was always busy. As a doctor, he barely had enough time for himself. Most times, as long as I had clothes to wear, I never bothered asking for more. Besides, I wasn't someone who cared much about fashion anyway. I simply liked dressing modestly. That was enough for me. My mother had enrolled us in a madrasa before she passed away, and I continued attending even after her death through the madrasa. I learned Quran, Hadith, Fiqh, and many Islamic teachings. In our community, however, there wasn't much emphasis on specific styles of dressing. The focus was more on seeking knowledge and practicing Islam correctly. As long as a girl covered herself decently, nobody paid too much attention to whether she wore a jilbab, khi, mar, or wrapped hijab. So when Sister Hawa and Mulaila spoke about jilbabs, I didn't see it as criticism. I simply thought they were being kind. When I reached the front of the hostel, I found both sisters waiting under a tree near the entrance. Just like always, they were dressed neatly in their flowing abayas and niqabs. Assalamu alaikum, I greeted. Wa alaikumussalam. They replied warmly. Hawa smiled. We don't have much time. We have a class soon. I nodded. No problem. Sister double quotes ummu. Layla handed me a neatly packaged bag. We brought these for you. I accepted it carefully. Jazakumullahu khairan, wa yaki. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this. The sisters laughed. Why not? Hawa asked. I just thought maybe you were being nice when you said it. We were serious. I smiled. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Double quotes. We exchanged a few more words before they checked the time. We should start going. Layla Saida. Our lecturer doesn't joke with lateness. That made me laugh. Thank you again. You can come visit us during the weekend if you're free. Inshallah. Bo quotes. After they left, I headed back to my room. The moment I entered, Soma noticed the package. Is that from the sisters? Yes. Her eyes widened slightly. They actually brought them. I laughed. That's exactly what I said. Open it. I sat down on my bunk and carefully opened the package. The moment I brought out the first jilbab, all my roommates looked up. WBC exclaimed. Inside were 3 beautiful jilbabs. The first was wine-colored. The second was emerald green. The third was purple. One was a 2-piece jilbab with a matching skirt, while the others were long flowing jilbabs. And the most surprising thing was that they were brand new. Not old, not fairly used. Brand new. For a moment, I was speechless. They actually bought these. I couldn't hide the smile on my face. Carefully, I tried one of them on. It fit perfectly. I turned around and looked at myself in the mirror. It felt different. Beautiful. Elegant. Comfortable. You look nice, BC said. I laughed. Thank you, Dot. Then Salma spoke. Azeeka, have you thought about why they would buy all these for you? I turned towards her. What do you mean? She sat down beside me. I'm just asking. I frowned slightly. I don't understand. We've only known them for a short time. I remained silent. Don't you think it's strange? I looked at the folded jilbabs. Honestly, I hadn't thought about it that way. I don't know, I admitted. Maybe they just wanted to help. Maybe. There was something in her tone that made me pause. Then she continued. You should be careful about people. I sighed. Salma. Why do you always think something bad is happening? She looked surprised. What do you mean? The other day, we judged Afra because we assumed she wasn't praying. Her expression softened immediately. I continued. And now you're making me suspicious of these sisters too. I didn't know Afra was menstruating. I know. She lowered her gaze. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Then she said quietly, I'm not saying they're bad people. Then, I'm saying that kindness shouldn't stop you from being careful. I thought about her words. There was some truth in them. Being careful wasn't wrong, but neither was appreciating genuine kindness. Well, I finally said, I'm grateful for the gift. She smiled slightly. And that's okay. Then she stood up and returned to her bunk. That night, after everyone had fallen asleep, I stared at the folded jilbabs beside my bed. The more I thought about it, the more I realized something. Not everyone who gives advice is automatically right. And not everyone who helps you has a hidden agenda. Life wasn't black and white. People were more complicated than that. The lesson wasn't to blindly trust everyone. Neither was it to suspect everyone. The lesson was to be wise enough to appreciate kindness while still using your own judgment. As I switched off the light and settled into bed, I smiled. Maybe university wasn't only teaching me software engineering. Maybe it was teaching me how to understand people too.